Hello everyone. So today we are conducting a video tutorial on applying chi-square test. In this tutorial, I'll cover two aspects. First, I'll explain you the concept of chi-square. Then, in second part, we will see how chi-square test can be calculated in SPSS. Okay, as far as the concept is concerned, chi-square test is a non-parametric test. It is a non-parametric test which is used to study association between two categorical variables. That means in simple language we can say it is a non-parametric test which we can use for studying the relationship between two categorical variables. Okay, now the important thing is the concept of categorical variable, how we will define a categorical variable. Okay, so there are four levels of measurement. One is nominal, ordinal, interval and scale. Okay, when we measure any variable on a nominal scale, then it create a categorical data. Okay, like we want to measure the gender of 100 individuals. So this variable is having two categories. Either someone will take on male or he or she will take on female. So you are collecting a data of gender on nominal scale, and the categories of that nominal scale is male and female. So this data is a categorical data. So chi-square test can only be applied when both variable are categorical in nature. Okay, before we apply chi-square test, there are certain assumptions which need to be fulfilled. Okay, so basically there are two assumptions of chi-square test. First is independent observation. This is a very simple assumption which says the categories of a variable must be mutually exclusive. That means suppose you are measuring gender. So there are two categories of gender, male or female. Both categories should be mutually exclusive. That means either one should select male or one should select female. Not on the same time that person can select male or female. That means both male and female, they are mutually exclusive. Either I will select male or I will select female. Okay. Second assumption is of adequate sample size. Second assumption says the sample size should be adequate. But now the question is how we will determine sample size is adequate or not. So the very simple concept is, if you are dealing with a 2 by 2 situation, that means you are studying association between two variables and both variables are having two categories each. So it is a 2 by 2 situation where first variable is having two categories and second variable is also having two categories. For example, if we want to study the bank loan default and gender, we want to study gender and bank loan default. So there are two categorical variables. First categorical variable is gender. Gender is having two categories, male or female. Similarly, second categorical variable is default, bank default. So it is also a categorical variable which is having two categories, whether someone is a defaulter or he is a non-defaulter. So defaulter or non-defaulter. So it is a 2 by 2 situation. So in case you are dealing with a 2 by 2 situation, in that case the assumption is every cell of that 2 by 2 table should have minimum expected frequency 5. That means every cell should have 5 observation in every cell. Okay, and second condition, when we are dealing with a larger table, that means if we are dealing with a situation in which we have a situation larger than 2 by 2, that means variables are having categories in excess of 2. For example, suppose we want to study the gender and smoking habit. We want to study smoking habits of individuals and their gender. So gender is having two categories, but smoking habit is here having three categories. One, smoker, second, non-smoker, and third is past smoker. Okay, so this is a 2 by 3 table. So whenever we are dealing with a table which is in excess of 2 by 2, then second assumption will be applicable. So second assumption is simple. It says that for a larger table, expected frequency in every cell must be more than 1. That means minimum 1 observation should be there in every cell. Okay, and second, along with this, not more than 20% of cell may have expected frequency uh, less than 5. That means every cell, uh, at least 80% cell should have expected frequency in excess of 5. Okay, so these are two assumption of chi-square test. If we see the hypothesis, and the hypothesis is very simple. Alternative hypothesis in case of chi-square test is there is a significant association between two variables. Whatever variable you are studying, it says, alternative hypothesis says there is a association between these variables, and a null hypothesis says there is no association between these two variables. Okay, so now we will see with the help of sample data how SPSS can calculate this chi-square test. So this is a default window of SPSS. I have a data set with me which is having two variables. One is default, precisely it is a default on loan. This variable is having two category, one yes or no. That means yes means those who are defaulting on loan, and no is those who are non-defaulter. Okay, second variable is gender. Gender is also having two category, male and female. So this is a 2 by 2 situation. This is a 2 by 2 situation. So now how we can apply chi-square test? Simple. For applying chi-square test, just click on analyze, go to descriptive statistics. I am repeating again, just click on analyze, go to descriptive statistics and select cross tab, and select cross tab. Okay, once you click on cross tab, this dialog box will appear. You need to transfer both the variable into row and column. One variable in row, second variable in column. So we will transfer loan default in row column, row, and gender in column. Okay, after this you need to click on statistics and select, and after clicking on statistics you need to select chi-square and phi and Cramer. So these two options you need to select in statistics tab. Just press OK, then select cell and click on expected, and click on expected. Okay, then click on continue. After this just press OK. So once you click on OK, a result will appear. So these are the result of a chi-square test. Now how we can interpret those results, what exactly these results mean to us. Okay, simple. We will see one by one, step by step. So first table is explaining you the number of observations. So it is saying that there are total 700 observation, and there is no missing value in this data set. Okay, so this is the interpretation of first table. Second table is of cross tabulation. It is a contingency table, like we call it contingency table or cross tab. So this is a 2 by 2 situation. Why it is 2 by 2 situation? Because loan default is having two category, no and yes, and gender on the same time having two category, male and female. So this is a 2 by 2 situation. That means there are four cell. One, this cell, that means male and no. Second is this cell, that means female, no. And third is this cell, and fourth is this. And fourth is this. There are four cell in this 2 by 2 table. Okay, so before we move to third table, which is actually a chi-square test table, we need to check whether our assumptions are fulfilled or not. So first assumption is category should be mutually exclusive. So categories are mutually exclusive. If someone is defaulter, then he or she will not be non-defaulter. So either one can be defaulter or non-defaulter. So either you can select yes or no. Similarly, either you will select male or female. So both the variables are having a mutually exclusive category. Second, whether it is whether your data is adequate, your sample size is adequate or not. So because it is a 2 by 2 table, so we will apply first assumption that says every cell should have expected frequency minimum 5. That means every cell should have minimum 5 expected count. So we will check expected count. In first cell expected count is 293. It is more than 5. In second cell, expected count is 223. It is also more than 5. In third cell, expected count is 103, more than 5. And fourth cell, expected count is 79. It is also more than 5. That means there is no cell which is having observation expected count in less than 5. So every cell is having expected count more than 5. That means both assumptions are fulfilled. Now we can move to third. Now we can move to this third table, which is actually the chi-square table. So in case your assumptions are fulfilled, that means if your all 4 cell have minimum expected count more than 5, that means in every cell expected count is more than 5, then we will read first column, then we will read this first column, Pearson chi-square. Suppose in this case, suppose just for an example, in this case expected count is more than 5 in every cell. This and this, in every cell expected count is more than 5. So we can read the Pearson chi-square. Okay, so we will read the first row. We will read this first row, Pearson chi-square. How we can read it? We just need to look at the significance value. We just need to look at the significance, this value. We just need to look at this value. This is a significant value. This value we need to look at. If this value is less than 0.05, I am repeating again, if this value is less than 0.05, then we will accept our alternative hypothesis, which says there is a significant association between two variables. So we will check this value. In our case, this value is more than 0.05. If this value is less than 0.05, then alternative hypothesis will be accepted. And if this value is more than 0.05, then we will reject the alternative hypothesis. So in this case, value is more than 0.05. It is actually 0.176, which is higher than 0.05. So we will reject the alternative hypothesis. That means in this case, there is no significant association between gender and default. Bank loan default and gender, they are not associated with each other. There is no association between these two variables. So this is the interpretation. Okay, now second case. Now second case, this systematic measures, the fourth table. This table we will only interpret when your significance is 0.05, less than 0.05. If your significance is less than 0.05, then you will read this table, otherwise we will not read this. Okay, in our case the value is 0.176, which is higher than 0.05, so we will not read this fourth table. Okay, so this is the interpretation of chi-square test. One important aspect, suppose in any case, in this situation, although expected count in each cell is higher than 5, but for an example, just imagine if any cell is having count less than 5, then we cannot use Pearson chi-square. Pearson chi-square cannot be used if the expected count in any of these four cell is less than 5. Okay, although in present example it is not the case, but suppose if it is the case, then we will read this Fisher exact test. Okay, agar aapka if your assumption is violated, then we will read this Fisher exact test. So we will see the two-sided significance of Fisher. We will see the two-sided significance of Fisher. If the rule is same, if it is more than 0.05, then alternative hypothesis will be rejected, and if it is less than 0.05, then alternative hypothesis will be accepted. Okay, so this is the concept of chi-square test in case of 2 by 2 table. Okay, in next video we will be covering a situation where we are having a situation of more than 2 by 2 table. Okay, so thanks for watching. So I hope this video will help you in your study and you will understand the concept of chi-square with the help of this video.